Hello, language lovers, and welcome back to Your Journey, Confident English Now. I'm Kei.
And I'm Leo. Today we're tackling a challenge that many of you face, that moment just before you need to speak English, when your heart starts to race and your confidence dips. We're here to give you 5 powerful ways to boost your confidence instantly.
Exactly, Leo. We want to empower you with practical tools you can use right before that crucial conversation, presentation, or even just ordering coffee. It's about feeling ready, not perfect. Okay, let's unpack this a bit. That universal feeling. You're just about to speak English, maybe giving a presentation or just like jumping into a chat.
Yeah, or even just ordering coffee.
Exactly. And bam, your heart starts, hammering a little faster and your mind just feels like completely blank. Does that sound familiar?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, if it does, you are definitely in the right place today.
And it's interesting that pre-speaking anxiety, it's so common.
Yeah.
Even for people who actually have a really good grasp of English.
Right. It's like this invisible wall that just pops up.
Yeah, right before you want to express yourself.
Exactly. So for this deep dive, we're really focusing on something super practical.
Okay.
Real actionable strategies you can use like right now to boost your English-speaking confidence just before those moments hit.
So things you can do immediately.
Yeah, think of it as like your toolkit for feeling ready to go. Not necessarily perfect, but ready.
That's a great way to put it. It's about managing those initial jitters so they don't block you from actually communicating. Shifting your focus away from the worry, maybe.
Precisely. And these insights, they're straight from the Your Journey, Confident English Now podcast.
With Kei and Leo.
Yep, hosted by Kei and Leo. And they've really been through the language learning journey themselves, so they get it.
Which kind of brings us to the core question, doesn't it? What are these pre-speaking jitters?
Right.
It's more than just, butterflies, right?
Spot on. It's often a whole cocktail of things, physical and mental reactions, that can hit you before you even say a word in English.
Okay, like what?
Well, physically, you might notice your heart racing, maybe sweaty palms. Some people even get a shaky voice. And then mentally, it's that awful feeling of your mind just going totally blank.
Yeah.
Plus that fear, of being judged or messing up your words.
And there's a psychological root to this too, right?
Yeah.
It often links back to performance anxiety. When you're speaking a second language, there's just this extra layer of vulnerability. You're sort of putting yourself out there. And that fear of not meeting expectations, your own or others, can be pretty strong.
Absolutely. And, past experiences can really crank up those jitters.
How so?
Well, think about maybe a time you got some harsh feedback or you felt totally misunderstood when you were trying to speak English.
Oh, right. Those moments stick.
They really do. And they can make you way more anxious next time around.
And then there's the internal pressure we put on ourselves.
Oh, huge.
That desire to sound like perfectly fluent, get all the grammar right, perfect pronunciation.
Yeah.
That chase for this sort of ideal version of ourselves speaking English.
Yeah.
Ironically, it can actually crush our confidence.
It's like setting this impossibly high bar before we even start. And isn't it funny how the situation changes things too?
Total.
Like chatting with a friend is one thing.
Easy, usually.
But giving a presentation to, say, a group of native speakers, that feels like a whole different ballgame.
Oh, yeah. Or high-stakes stuff like job interviews, exams, that really dials up the anxiety.
Kei and Leo, on their podcast, they share some really relatable stories about this. Leo talked about a job interview where he knew the answers, like inside out.
Okay.
But when he had to actually say them in English, his mouth just wouldn't cooperate, tongue-tied.
Wow. Yeah, I can imagine that.
And Kei mentioned a time, seemingly low stakes, just a casual chat with someone new, and her mind just went poof, totally blank.
See? It shows even experienced learners deal with this. It's not just beginners.
Exactly. It's a good reminder.
So what happens when these jitters really take over? It's not just feeling a bit awkward, is it?
No, not at all. The impact can be, well, pretty significant, actually.
Like what? Avoidance.
Yeah, people might start actively avoiding situations where they have to speak English.
Which, of course, limits their practice.
Right, and their progress. And even when they do speak, the anxiety can mean they don't perform as well as they actually could. They don't show what they really know.
That must be so frustrating.
Totally. Leads to more frustration, self-belief takes a hit. And you end up missing out on chances to connect, to learn, to grow.
That brings up a really good question for everyone listening.
Yeah.
What's the situation where you've felt those pre-speaking jitters the most intensely in English? It's probably more common than you think.
Absolutely. And hey, if you feel like sharing, we'd love to hear about it over on social media platform. Just knowing others feel it too can be like a big help.
Definitely.
But okay, let's shift gears. Let's talk solutions. Those instant confidence boosters Kei and Leo talk about, they've got 5 really practical ones.
And what's great about these, I think, is they're not long-term like homework assignments.
Right.
These are things you can actually do in the moments right before speaking.
To give yourself that immediate feeling of like, okay, I got this.
Exactly. More control, more confidence right away.
Okay, first one, power poses.
Ah, Amy Cuddy's work.
That's the one. You might have heard of it. The basic idea is that your body language, your posture, can actually change how you feel inside.
It's that mind-body connection again.
Yeah.
By consciously standing a certain way, you're sending signals to your brain that say, I'm confident.
And apparently it can trigger real physiological changes. Think of that classic Wonder Woman pose.
Hands on hips, feet apart.
Yeah. Or even just stretching your arms out wide. These kinds of open, expansive poses, they say they can actually boost testosterone linked to confidence.
And lower cortisol, the stress hormone.
Exactly.
And the practical part is you don't need to do this on a stage.
No.
You could duck into a restroom stall before a meeting or presentation, strike a pose for a minute or two.
Quick, discreet, little physical boost.
Nice. Okay, what's booster number 2?
Positive self-talk. This is all about that conversation you're having inside your head.
Ah, the internal monologue. And there's such a big difference between positive and negative self-talk, isn't there? A lot of language learners have that inner critic, right? Focusing on mistakes, fear of sounding silly.
Totally. And that negative voice can just sabotage your confidence before you even open your mouth.
So positive self-talk is about consciously flipping the script.
Yeah, swapping those critical thoughts for encouraging ones. Simple things, like affirmations.
What kind of affirmations work?
Things like, I am capable, I can do this, maybe my voice matters, or even just reminding yourself, mistakes are how I learn.
Simple, powerful statements.
Yeah, but the key is they need to feel believable to you.
Right. Not just robotically repeating something.
Exactly. Find stuff that resonates even just a little bit at first.
Makes sense. Okay, booster number 3.
Breathing exercises. Sounds simple, I know.
But powerful.
Yeah, it can have a really big impact on anxiety.
It connects back to that fight or flight response, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Anxiety kicks the nervous system into high gear. And conscious breathing helps calm that system down, brings you back into balance.
Exactly. So techniques like box breathing.
In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4.
That's the one. Really helps regulate your breath, calms the racing thoughts, or even just diaphragmatic breathing, focusing on breathing deep into your belly.
Again, super discreet. You can do this anywhere.
Totally. No one needs to know you're doing a few calming breaths before you speak. It's your own little reset button.
Okay, number 4.
Visualization and mental rehearsal. Using your imagination as a tool.
Ooh, interesting. How does that work?
Well, the idea is your brain benefits from mentally practicing success. It's like creating a mental map for confidence.
You picture it going well.
Yeah. Before you speak, take a minute, close your eyes maybe, and visualize yourself speaking confidently. Picture yourself being understood, achieving whatever your goal is for that conversation.
And really focus on the positive feeling of that success.
Exactly. And then there's mental rehearsal.
Taking it a step further.
Kind of. You actually mentally walk through the conversation or presentation, practice key phrases in your head.
Like a dress rehearsal, but entirely mental.
Yeah. It can really boost how prepared you feel and cut down on the anxiety.
I like that. Okay, final booster. Number 5.
The mini win warm-up.
Mini win.
Yeah. The idea is to build a bit of momentum with small, successful English activities right before a bigger, more demanding speaking task.
Like warming up before exercise.
Exactly. It's about gently activating your English skills without high pressure.
So not aiming for perfection, just getting the gears turning.
Precisely. So this could be super simple, like read a short paragraph out loud.
Yes.
Or practice a couple of key phrases you think you'll need, or just have a quick internal monologue in English about what you're about to do.
Even listening to a short English clip and repeating a bit.
Yeah, anything to just get your language brain warmed up and ready.
Okay, those are 5 really practical tools. So for you listening, Which one of those sounds most appealing? Which one might you try first?
Yeah, let us know. Use the #podcast hashtag. We'd love to hear.
All right, so to really see these in action, Kei from the podcast, she actually tested them out.
Yeah, she did this simulated but still pretty nerve-wracking mock job interview.
Putting the theory into practice. Good idea.
Totally. So the setup was an international marketing firm job needed strong English communication.
High stakes, even if it's simulated.
Yep. Leo acted as the interviewer. It was a 15-minute mock interview. And Kei said, even though it wasn't real, she felt real pressure.
Which is important, right? That feeling of anxiety can be real even in practice. So using the techniques then is great preparation.
Absolutely. So leading up to it, Kei deliberately used the boosters. Minutes before, she found a private spot. Apparently did a Superman power pose in a restroom stall.
Nice. Did she say it helped?
Yeah, she described feeling like a physical shift, feeling more grounded, more in control.
That physical posture affecting the mental state.
Seems so. Then, right before entering the interview, she did a quick box breathing exercise.
To calm the nerves. Focusing on the exhale.
Yep, slow exhales to settle everything down.
Smart.
And then, as she was walking in, sitting down, she was doing silent, positive self-talk.
What kind of phrases?
Things like, I am articulate, I have prepared, I will express myself clearly.
Planting those confidence seeds right at the crucial moment.
Exactly. And she said even during the interview, if she felt a wave of panic starting, she'd quickly use a mini win, like mentally rehearsing a phrase before saying it, or do a super quick visualization of answering well.
Like little in-the-moment fixes?
Yeah, to just nip the anxiety before it spiraled.
And how did the interview itself go?
Well, Leo asked pretty standard but still challenging interview questions, all in English. And Kei responded. The point wasn't perfect English, but her confident delivery.
How she managed her nerves using the tools.
Exactly.
And the debrief afterwards. What did they say?
It was really interesting. Kei said she felt way calmer than she expected. She found the power pose and the breathing especially helpful.
Any challenges?
She did say some techniques felt a bit awkward at first, which is normal. It takes practice to get comfortable.
Good point. And what was Leo's take as the interviewer?
His feedback was telling. He said Kei seemed much more composed after she'd done her prep.
Noticeably calmer.
Yeah, and her answers were clearer, more confident than he might have expected, given how nervous she seemed initially.
Wow. So it affects your internal feeling and how you come across?
Seems like it, fostering that sense of inner control.
Okay, so building on Kei's experiment, maybe a little challenge for our listeners.
Let's do it. Choose just one booster.
Yeah.
Just one. And try using it before the next time you need to speak English. Big or small situation, doesn't matter.
A presentation, a quick chat, ordering food.
Anything. And then tell us how it went. Find us on social media platform. We'd love to hear.
Definitely. Now, it's really important to stress something here. These instant boosters, they're amazing for those immediate moments.
Right.
But they're also tools for building confidence over the long haul.
Absolutely. They're not just quick fixes. They're things you can weave into your routine.
And the consistency is key, isn't
Yeah.
it? Using them regularly helps build habits. So they become a more automatic response when you feel that anxiety bubble up. Leads to a more stable baseline confidence.
So maybe start your day with affirmations. Or practice mindful breathing during breaks.
Or just make a point of doing regular low-stakes English-speaking practice consistently.
And crucial point, be kind to yourself through all this.
Oh, absolutely essential. Language learning involves setbacks. That's normal.
Focus on progress, not perfection. Celebrate the small wins.
Maybe keep a journal. Track those improvements. That can be really motivating.
Good idea. And remember, not every booster will click immediately for everyone.
Right. Experiment, see what works for you.
Maybe combine a couple of them. Find your own personal confidence cocktail.
It really is like building a muscle, isn't it?
That's a great analogy.
The more you consciously use these techniques, the more you put yourself out there speaking, the stronger and more reliable that confidence muscle gets.
So maybe a final thought to leave everyone with.
Yeah. Remember, the goal is communication, connection. That's way more important than perfect grammar or nailing every single sound. Embrace your unique English voice.
Love that.
And hey, to help you keep these boosters handy, you can grab a cheat sheet summarizing all 5 from our podcast website.
Oh, brilliant. We'll link that.
And please share your favorite booster or any success stories with the community. We learn from each other.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for diving deep with us today into boosting that English-speaking confidence.
Yeah, it's been great. The big takeaway, confidence isn't about never feeling nervous.
Right.
It's about having strategies to manage those nerves effectively.
Right.
And you absolutely have the power to speak English more confidently, starting right now.
We will be back soon with more insights for your English journey.
Until then, keep practicing, keep growing, and keep speaking your confident English.
Thank you for listening. Kei and Leo are here to help you grow. Don't forget to subscribe.